On this edition of Whether or Not, we have nature in the news stories, including the Colorado ski resorts opening up early for this ski season. And also, we have an update on the flooding in Venice that's been occurring for the last week and a half. And then Matt Hoenig has a feature on how weather may be impacting your technology. Whether or Not starts right now. Welcome to this edition of Whether or Not. I'm your host, Patrick Wright.
And I'm your forecaster, Jacob Morse.
Well, Jacob, rumor has it temperatures are dropping. What can you tell us?
Yeah, it's going to feel a lot colder in our area this weekend after a storm passes through on the day on Friday. So definitely a good idea to bring out those winter jackets. It's going to feel a lot more like winter than fall this weekend.
The first week, a full week of November this past week, so definitely a good call on those winter jackets. And Nature in the News is coming up next. Comets have captured the attention of astronomers and stargazers since the beginning of history, mystifying the world with their glorious tails streaking across the sky. Images from NASA's Solar and Terrestrial Relations Observatory, or STEREO, unexpectedly captured the McNaught comet tail in 2007, which revealed some strange striations within the structure of the tail itself. A phenomenon that also puzzled scientists in 1744 when a comet appeared with 6 tails in the night sky. Fast forward to recent years, Oliver Price, a planetary science PhD student at University College London's Mullard Space Science Laboratory in the United Kingdom, created a new image processing technique allowing scientists to mine through the large amounts of data from multiple missions, including the STEREO project. This led to the discovery of the interaction between the solar winds and the particles within a comet's tail. Comets are chunks of frozen gas, rock, and dust left over from the formation of the solar system about 4.6 billion years ago. The tail of the comet is a result of the sun heating the surface of the comet, vaporizing the frozen gases and dust, ejecting the material behind the comet as the tail. The solar winds eventually interact with the dust, orienting it into the different bands based off of its electrical charge. The dust of the comets were previously thought to have been too large to be affected by the charged solar particles. With this discovery, scientists can gain new insight to how the sun may have impacted the actual formation of different gas planets, moons, and asteroids in our solar system through the charged particles of the solar wind.
Ski resorts in Colorado are usually some of the first places to open up for business for the ski season, normally around the middle of November, and that's no exception this year. On Wednesday, Keystone and Breckenridge resorts opened for the season 2 days earlier than they were planning on doing so, and that was the first time that either of these resorts have opened in at least 10 years. Eldora Resort also opened on Wednesday, a full 9 days ahead of schedule for them. These early openings are all due to the recent snowfall in the area. Up to 5 feet of snow has fallen across Breckenridge and Keystone resorts since mid-October, and up to 4 feet of snow has fallen just in this past week alone. 2 other ski resorts in Colorado, Loveland and Wolf Creek, already opened in October of this year, with both of them opening earlier than their average opening date since 2010. In the Northeast, Killington, Mount Snow, and Sunday River resorts are open for the season, but mostly due to snowmaking efforts instead of the natural snow that has helped to open Colorado resorts. Here in central Pennsylvania, we might see some snow falling early next week, but I'll have more details on that in my extended forecast.
Venice, Italy, the city known for its world-famous canals and architectural beauty, is partially underwater. 70% of the city flooded this past week as a result of a series of storms that brought wind and rain to most of Italy. Winds from the storms pushed about 5 feet of water in some places into Venice, flooding many of the city's popular tourist destinations, forcing some to evacuate. 29 deaths are confirmed so far as a result of the storms across Italy. The city of Venice has a population of 260,000 people, consisting of 118 islands in the Venetian lagoon along the coast in northeastern Italy. Each year between the autumn and spring seasons, flooding is expected due to the general fluctuations of tides in the region. To combat this issue, the city is constructing a new barrier system at the mouth of the lagoon to prevent flooding. This design of the barrier would allow the gates to raise above the surface of the water when the tides reach 43 inches, limiting the annual flooding of the city, which occurs roughly 4 times per year, but nowhere near the scale of the recent flooding event. The barrier is set to be completed in 2022, several years behind schedule due to corruption and construction delays. Some say that the barriers may have been able to prevent the recent flooding if it had been completed on time.
Overnight Monday into Tuesday morning, a total of 24 confirmed tornadoes across 6 states were spawned by a severe weather outbreak in the south, leaving a trail of damage and killing at least 1 person. The deadly tornado touched down in Christina, Tennessee, about 35 miles southeast of Nashville, destroying several homes and injuring at least 2 other people. The National Weather Service gave this tornado a preliminary EF2 rating with an estimated wind speed of 135 miles per hour. Widespread tree damage was also reported around the Knoxville, Tennessee area after a squall line, which is a narrow band of high winds and storms associated with the cold front, moved across the area. Louisiana also saw 5 EF1 tornadoes touch down on Monday night, while 3 EF1 twisters were confirmed in Alabama. Hello everyone, I'm student meteorologist Jacob Morse here with your Central Pennsylvania forecast. It's going to be a lot cooler in our area as we head into the weekend with temperatures far below their average for this time of year. We'll also be seeing some rain in our area for the day on Friday and possibly even some snow showers for the morning hours on Saturday. Going to the maps, we can see widespread rain across the eastern seaboard for the day on Friday. Here in central Pennsylvania, we'll be seeing periods of rain throughout the day. It's going to be very chilly out there, so it'll be a good idea to bundle up so that you can stay warm with the cooler temperatures, but also bring an umbrella or a rain jacket with you for the day on Friday so that you don't get wet with the rain falling throughout the day. And then you can see these 3 centers of low pressure on the map. Those will be moving off to the north and the east as we head into the day on Saturday, impacting the New England area with some rain and possibly even some snow. But here in central Pennsylvania on Saturday, will be a lot cooler with those winds out of the west and the northwest, bringing in some cooler Canadian air. We could also see some lake effect snow showers with those winds coming off of Lake Erie. Some of those snow showers might make it here into the central portion of the state in the morning hours on Saturday, but it will feel a lot cooler in our area on Saturday. And that'll be the story as we head into the day on Sunday. High pressure squarely over Pennsylvania, leading to mostly sunny skies, but those chilly temperatures stick around for Sunday. Breaking this down into a forecast, we can see Friday will only be reaching a high temperature of around 42 degrees. Our average high temperature for this time of year should be around 52 degrees, so it'll be at least 10 degrees below our average high temperature for this year, for this time of year, I should say. And with those periods of rain throughout the day on Friday, most of the rain will fall in the afternoon or evening hours in our part of the state. Friday night, our skies will begin to clear as the storm moves off to the north and the east. We'll be dropping down to a low below freezing, around 30 degrees, and then only warming up to a high of around 36 degrees for the day on Saturday. Very chilly, also some windy conditions as that storm moves off to the north and the east with those winds out of the west. Possibly some flurries in the morning hours, as I mentioned. And then for any of you going to the game against Wisconsin on Saturday, 12 o'clock kickoff, temperature will only be around 34 degrees with those mostly sunny skies, so it'd be a good idea to bundle up for the game if you're headed out to Beaver Stadium. And then for the day on Sunday, still remaining chilly in our area. It is Veterans Day on Sunday, so if you do have any plans in the area, do plan accordingly with these cooler temperatures, reaching a high of 38 degrees on Sunday with those mostly sunny skies. Coming up next, Matt has a feature on how the cooler weather will impact our technology.
It's 2018, and that means you and everyone around you is attached to some sort of mobile device. With the world adapting to advancing technology, people want devices that are fast, powerful, and able to last all day without charging. But as with any form of technology, nothing is perfect. Sometimes weather can dampen our ability to effectively use technology. One of the major devices we carry around is our smartphone. Many of us use our phones for 2 to 3 hours a day, checking it dozens of times for notifications, or maybe using the camera to take pictures. Chances are you've probably used your phone out in the elements before, and sometimes those elements can adversely affect your phone. But there's good news if you're the owner of a newer smartphone. Whether you're on Team Apple or Team Android, many high-end flagship phones now have an extra layer of protection, at least from water. These phones have either IP67 or IP68 ratings. IP ratings are a measure of how far into water a device can be safely submerged. Both of these ratings allow phones to survive up to 30 minutes when submerged in water. You're probably not going to throw your phone into a lake or ocean, so this rating gives consumers the confidence that their device will be protected from the rain or at least a few splashes of water. So, in many instances, your phone is protected from the rain, but even when it's dry, your phone could still get damaged. Extreme temperatures have significant impacts, especially with winter right around the corner. Bringing your phone out into the cold is unavoidable. Whether you're taking pictures at Beaver Stadium, going skiing on Tussey Mountain, or just walking around on a cold winter day, your phone is being exposed to these harsh temperatures, even if it's just sitting in your pocket. Phones are not designed to be used in temperatures far below room temperature. This can cause liquid crystal displays to freeze, resulting in slower performance and responsiveness from your screen. It can also slow down the chemical reaction that gives lithium-ion batteries their charge. Sometimes this will result in unexpected shutdowns of your phone. But don't worry, the cold didn't completely kill your phone, and once it gets warmed up, it should typically come back to life and have at least some charge. But if your phone is constantly exposed to the cold, your battery could degrade, and eventually you will notice that your phone won't last as long on a daily basis as it once did. When researching information about how cold temperatures impact our mobile devices, I stumbled upon an experiment conducted by Environ Laboratories. They took 6 phones and put them in a temperature-controlled chamber. Here's what happened. Other than a few hiccups and flashes of unresponsiveness, the phones were okay until the temperature fell below 0 degrees. After that, the phones began developing battery problems. By the time the chamber got down to 20 and 30 degrees below 0, the phones experienced significant screen and battery issues, and eventually they became inoperable. While this experiment was on the extreme end, Pennsylvania winters can be harsh, so be sure to take care of your devices when you're out doing your favorite cold weather activities. For Weather or Not, I'm Matt Hoenig.
Hello everyone, I'm back with your extended forecast. Looking ahead to next week, those cooler temperatures will remain in our area. We could see some rain and snow impacting us for the day on Tuesday. But first, let's recap your weekend. We can see those chilly temperatures with periods of rain for the day on Friday. Saturday for the game against Wisconsin, only warming up to a high of 36 degrees with mostly sunny skies and windy conditions. And then Sunday, mostly sunny as well, with a high of around 38 degrees. Those lows on Saturday and Sunday night only in the middle 20s. As we look ahead to next week, we'll be below our average high temperature for the entirety of the week. Our average high temperature should be around 51 degrees. We'll see highs in the upper 30s and even reaching the lower 30s for the middle part of the week. And we'll be seeing some rain and snow impacting our area for the day on Tuesday and then drying out for the rest of the week.
Well, Jacob, it looks like it's going to be a very cold weekend, or at least definitely compared to what we've been used to so far this year.
Yeah, it'll be rather chilly, especially for the game on Saturday. So if you're headed out to Beaver Stadium, it'd be a good idea to dress in layers for the game. And we might actually see some snow flurries on Saturday morning. So don't be surprised if you see some flakes falling from the sky. But it won't be any accumulating snow like we saw in 1995 for the Penn State-Michigan game that we asked you about earlier.
And the question was, in 1995, Penn State played a football game against Michigan that was known as the Snow Bowl. How many inches of snow fell during the week leading up to the game? A, 5 inches, B, 12 inches, C, 18 inches, or D, 24 inches? And if you answered C, 18 inches, you are right. You have bragging rights for at least this week. A surprise nor'easter storm dumped 18 inches of snow in Happy Valley on November 14, 1995. Only 4 days before the football game against Michigan, Penn State Athletics paid hundreds of volunteers to quickly remove the snow from Beaver Stadium before that game on that Saturday, including 188 prisoners from the correctional institutions in the area.
For the game, the snow was still piled high around the field and even around the students in the stands. Despite the significant snowfall and severely limited parking around the stadium, approximately 80,000 spectators filled Beaver Stadium on game day to watch Joe Paterno's Nittany Lions defeat the Wolverines 27-17.
Well, let's hope we get a win this weekend for Nittany Lions.
It won't be as snowy as that game for sure, but it will be rather cold out there.
And so, well, with that, from all of us at Whether or Not, and I hope you have a good one. I'm Patrick Wright.
And I'm your forecaster, Jacob Morse.
Have a good one, everybody.